This is bigger. If we don't get policies changed all the way down from the state to the local level, this will not be the last time that we are here. Once again, I'm going to welcome everybody to line up these stairs. And on this row, we want the family, Mr. Hill Harper, Mr. Benjamin Crump, and Mr. Ben Johnson. Justice for Samuel! 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 Justice for Stanley! Justice for Riley! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley! Justice for Patrick! 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 Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley! 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody who has hands available back here, I want you to give it up for Michael Sterling and Andrika Cage, the parents that had to fight for their son while they're mourning, and the strength that God has given them to be out here today and continue that fight for justice for Samuel. Now let's give it up also for the Doggett family, the mother Becky, the whole family, as they have stood up during their mourning to fight for justice for Riley. Before we bring up the mother, I'm gonna see who we're gonna bring up. Also, Mr. Hill Harper has been doing a lot of work, so him to take off his schedule, let's give it up for Mr. Hill Harper today. I'm gonna bring up the baddest civil rights attorney in the United States of America, the attorney that turned things around in America when he took the George Floyd case and was successful at bringing justice for the Floyd family. He came and took the case of Grand Rapids' own Breonna Taylor and was successful in bringing justice for the Breonna Taylor family. And now he has 3 cases in Grand Rapids, Michigan, as who we consider the Black Attorney General of the United States of America. Give it up for Mr. Ben Crump!
Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley! Justice for Patrick! Justice for Patrick! What is so profound about all these tragedies, where these young men lives were taken far too soon, was that all of these young men, Samuel Sterling, Riley Doggett, Patrick Loyola, they were all unarmed at the time they were murdered by the police, each and every one of them. And thank God, Hill Harper, each and every one of them were captured on video. So Commissioner Womack, thank you for your leadership and standing up, speaking truth to power, because when you saw the video, unlike many politicians, who turn and run for the shadows. You stand straight up for justice, because Womack won't back down. So thank you, Commissioner Womack. Thank you for your stern leadership. And it's so troubling when you look at these videos, because it was heartbreaking to watch the Patrick Loyola video almost 2 years ago, when it was the most prima facie case of driving while black I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the police officer was coming from the opposite direction, looks over, sees it's a black motorist, and makes a U-turn, gets behind him, and pulls him over. Patrick gets out of the vehicle, never threatens him, never puts his life in harm's way. The officer is never in harm of any deadly encounter, because Patrick the whole time is trying to run away from him, and he has on bedroom shoes and his pants are falling off of his backside, and he's moving at 2 miles per hour, but yet the officer shoots him in the back of his head in broad daylight. And what was his crime? Driving while black. And then it was profound when you think about these two tragedies that we're here for, Samuel Sterling and Riley Doggett, and their parents gotta be so heartbroken, because nobody expects to lose their children, especially like this. Especially like this. My great co-counsel, one of the best civil rights lawyers in America, Van Johnson, when I landed in Detroit, Michigan this morning, he texted me and he said, "Welcome to the state of Michigan, Attorney Crump, where we don't waste money on guns and bullets. We just line them up and run them over with our police cars. It's cheaper that way, apparently." I mean, and it's something that is so sickening about the fact that you would use your police cruiser as a deadly weapon on people who are posing no threat to you, no harm to you. They're running away from you, and you're gonna run over them with your police cruiser? You wouldn't even run over a dog like that, but you ran over Andrika's baby. You ran over Becky's baby. And for what? For what? We can't have two justice systems in America, one for black America, one for white America. We got to treat all our children equally. And that's why I'm so happy that we can say we're not only standing for black Samuel Sterling, we're here today also standing for white Riley Doggett, because our children matter. We love all of our children, each and every one of them. Brothers and sisters, we're here at the Michigan State Capitol because we want the highest government officials in the state of Michigan to know that their police force, this wasn't a city or municipal police force, this was the state patrol who used his vehicle to break every policy known, to run somebody down, mow them down with his vehicle so recklessly that the Attorney General of the state of Michigan would even say, nah, that is not acceptable. We cannot turn a blind eye to that. That is second-degree murder. And so we all welcome that as a step forward with the charge. But we've seen it far too often, Kareem, that a charge don't mean a conviction. And so we're here at the state capitol to say we won't go away until we get justice for Samuel Sterling. We won't let you sweep it under the rug. We won't let you forget about him. We won't let you say his life doesn't matter, because just like you would want justice for your children if the police officer mowed them down, well, we want justice for our children too. Justice for Samuel Sterling. Justice for Samuel Sterling. Justice for Samuel Sterling. Yeah, we got to say it so loud that Governor Whitmer and Attorney General Nessa will know that we're not going away. We're not going to be tired. We're not going to give up. We're not going to ever forget that all of their actions, we are watching. When we say we the people, well, I want y'all to see, we the people. This is who's standing on the right side of history for justice. There are those who will try to condone the actions of these cop killers, but some will say, I'm sorry, I respect police and I value police. However, when you have bad police violating policy, killing our children, we won't stand for that. We stand on the side of truth, and we will speak truth to power, even if they say something popular, even if they start reports and files on all of us. Just know, I use my government name, and I'm standing for justice for all of God's children. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, or brown. If you kill our children unjustly, then we're going to stand up for them. Brothers and sisters, understand this. We support police. We're not against police. We're against bad police who kill us unjustly. And you cannot justify what is seen on this video with Samuel Sterling. You cannot justify what is seen on the video with Riley Doggett. You cannot justify what's seen on the video with Patrick Loyola. And so, really, to Attorney General Nessa, I'll give a little advice to your prosecutors. And I can't even take credit for it, Jamal. I got it from the activists, the young, brilliant activists who stand up on the right side of history when some of the older folks are a little afraid. They want to be politically expedient. They want to say, oh, well, we worry about what people would think of us. Well, the young people don't ever think that. They say, you taught us what was right and wrong, and we're going to stand up for right. And it was young people marching in Louisville, Kentucky, and in Minneapolis, Minnesota, who taught me this slogan, don't say no more, just watch the video. 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 So Attorney General Nessa, there's your argument. There's your argument. We don't need no experts to tell us what our own eyes see. I mean, they mowed down Samuel Sterling. He was running in a Burger King parking lot. I mean, hit Samuel, hit the curb of the Burger King. I mean, God knows if any other citizens would have been around here, they probably would have been dead too. Mr. Sterling, we ain't gonna let them get away with that. We refuse to let them get away with that. And at least, we got charges on Samuel Sterling. That's more than we can say for Riley Doggett in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I mean, this broken-hearted mother, they won't even charge the police that killed her son, even though they got all the visual evidence in the world. We got it from beginning to end right then, the video of them running down her teenage son, killing him. And they won't charge the police officer. And just like we're fighting for justice for Samuel Sterling, we are fighting for your baby too, Becky. We gonna keep fighting for all our children. Justice for Riley. Justice for Riley. Justice for Riley. Justice for Riley. And Mr. Loyola, come a little closer, because
Come on.
everybody needs to know, even though it's been 2 years, we have not forgot that Patrick Loyola's life matters.
Yeah.
We have not forgotten about him. We're going to keep fighting for him. We're going to keep fighting for him. Justice will not elude us when we got visual proof. As Shakespeare used to say, we got ocular proof of the crime. And so, before I bring Michigan's own Ben Johnson up to break it down about the applicable laws and policies of the state of Michigan, I simply want to say, when I was on the plane flying in from New York City this morning, the gentleman recognized me on the plane and said, Attorney Crump, what are you coming to Michigan for today? And I told him, Andrika, I said, just like we went to Minnesota and fought to get justice for George Floyd after the police kept his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And just like we went to Brunswick, Georgia to get justice for Ahmaud Arbery, who was lynched for jogging while black, not in 1940, not in 1950, but here hop in 2020, we saw that lynch mob, that murderous father and son duo with the Confederate flag on the front of the Ford truck, chase Ahmaud Arbery all around that neighborhood for jogging while black. And we got justice for him. And just like we went to Louisville, Kentucky and fought for justice for a queen named Breonna Taylor, whose mother was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and fought for justice for her after the police kicked in the front door at 1 o'clock in the morning, serving an unnecessary, an unjustifiable, and an unconstitutional no-knock warrant, and mutilated her body with 8 bullet holes while she was practically naked in her nightgown. And if we can't be safe in our own homes, where can we be safe at? And just like we fought for Breonna Taylor for the first time in the history of the United States of America, to have federal charges brought against a police officer for killing a black woman.
Come on now, say that.
We came to Michigan to make sure we get justice for Patrick Loyola. I came to Michigan to make sure we get justice for Riley Doggett. And brothers and sisters, I came to Michigan to make sure we get justice for Samuel Sterling. Justice for Samuel Sterling. Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel. And the man who's going to help us get justice for not only Patrick Loyola, not only for Riley Doggett, not only for Samuel Sterling, but my brother from another mother, Attorney Ben Johnson, the great Michigan civil rights crusader.
All right.
Thank you, Ben. It's an honor and a privilege to be up here with Ben Crump, with Commissioner Womack, but it deeply saddens me that we have to be, because in 2024, we as a state face the same problems that have befallen us for centuries, and that is that we devalue certain people's lives. That's sad. But I think that the majority of us are here for the same reason, because we believe in Michigan that we have the power together to make everybody matter. Am I right? Everybody matters. Everybody matters. When it comes to young folks, in April of 2022, Patrick Loyola. In April of 2024, Riley Doggett, Samuel Sterling. All three in the Grand Rapids area. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a pattern. That is a pattern. There is a problem. And the problem is us. That until we all stand up together, Ben Crump, until we all of us stand up together and say, we will not tolerate this in Michigan. We will not tolerate this in Michigan, Commissioner. Because every single person matters. The police officers matter. Who they're chasing matters. Everyone has the same, believe it or not, constitutional rights. Because no one is above the law. And when the police do their job and take people into custody, that is their job. Their job is not to be the judge, the jury, and executioner. Let me repeat that. The police job is to gather folks up. If they break the law, put them in jail, turn them over to the prosecutors, and let the criminal justice system work. It is not their job to be judge, jury, or executioner. No one is above the law. So when a police officer breaks the law here in Michigan, what we have to do is we have to be consistent with treating them the way that we treat one of us that are not them. They're still presumed innocent. Awesome. They still get the lawyers. Awesome. But tell you what they shouldn't do. They should not be able to hide behind an investigation that takes months, where they hide public documents from you and me. They should not be able to hide videos that they have on the day of an incident. They should not be able to hide under the guise of investigation, hoping that time passes and you all will forget Patrick Loyola, that you all will forget Riley Doggett, that you all will forget Samuel Sterling. Well, I got news for you. We ain't forgetting. We ain't forgetting. Something has happened in these three cases that's different than certain parts of our country. To this state's credit, to the credit of certain prosecutors. So let me give them the shout out that they deserve, and we'll talk about what they are doing wrong. Patrick Loyola was charged by the Kent County prosecutor, Chris Becker. Thank you. And we said that from the beginning. Chris Becker, on that one, we think you got it right. We support that. But look what's happened. 2 years have passed. Where's the trial?
Where's he at?
Where's the trial? And when you all hear and you're told that this is just a normal case, really? So you ask anybody that does criminal law, and I ain't one of them. Ask anybody that does criminal law, when's the last time you knew that there was a case of second-degree murder on video that you don't even have a trial date yet? The case has been up and down the appellate chain twice, and we're back between the Michigan Supreme Court for a second time. That's not a normal case, y'all. That is a two-tiered system, and that ain't how it works for the rest of us, if you get my drift. Next, let's talk about the next in sequence, Riley Doggett. Riley's a 17-year-old kid. Now, I've already released video. Ben Crump and I released video. Media, please get this video. Where's Anthony Cairo? First of all, shout out to Al Johnson Law who's here today. Anthony Cairo put together a synchronized video that if you haven't seen it, you should, because it wasn't given to you by anybody yet. So Becky Wilbert, when she's mourning the death of her son, she has to become super sleuth to get the video that they released last Friday. And what you're not going to see is what we did. We put it side by side. Let's say his name, Riley Doggett. Let's say his name, Riley Doggett. Any mystery? No. Let's say the name of the officer. Anybody have a problem with that? The media does. You know why? Because they say he hasn't been charged. Riley Doggett's not charged either. He's dead. Becky Wilbert buried her baby and did not find out until an hour or two, Becky, of her son's funeral that there would be no charges, and she saw for the first time about a 10-second blip of a video over a month and a half after it occurred. Put yourself in Becky's shoes, y'all. Do unto others as others would do unto you. Becky did nothing wrong. So there's a problem. Now, Mr. Becker, on that one, didn't charge. That's his decision. One of the reasons we're here today, and you all get this video and you look at it yourself.
Come on now.
You're going to see that Officer McMain saw Riley Doggett get out of the car and knew he was a passenger. Translation, he was not driving.
Sure did.
The other gentleman was driving, and the criminal justice system is working. They can do what they do over there. This officer saw Riley, took off after Riley, went up and over a curb, a median, another curb, pulls up right next to Riley, and what you can see on the body cam is Riley is right outside the vehicle, y'all, by the front wheel. Passenger front wheel, and the officer turned the wheel just shy of 360 degrees. 360 degrees, and he's telling you, and his lawyer's telling you, and Mr. Becker last week told you that he didn't mean to run him over. Well, last time I knew, you have a pedestrian outside your car and I turn my wheel. Something's up with that. But one of the reasons why we're here is we will be sending that video that we will make available to you today. And we already have, but we'll do it again. Why? Because one of us is transparent. When we use that T word, transparent, anybody up here means that. You will have all of it. And you make the judgment for yourself. You don't need to be a police expert. You don't need to be a police officer. You just need to know what a steering wheel does. So, Dana Nessel, our respected and we great Attorney General, please take a look at the evidence that Ben Crump and I share with you today, and we're asking you to step up and charge the Officer McMain with the same thing, second-degree murder, if not more, that you just did relative to Samuel Sterling. One of the reasons we're here. Shout out to Dana Nessel and what she and the Michigan State Police have done relative to Samuel Sterling. They stepped up. We're still here because we want prosecutions and civil folks all alike. We want every Michigan citizen to know we are still here. We ain't going away. We are still here and ain't going away. Peter Loyola, we are here for you and Patrick and your entire family. And Drinking Cage, Michael Sterling, we are here for you and Samuel Sterling's entire family. Becky Wilbert and the entire Doggett family, we are here with you on behalf of your family. Last point I'm going to make. Senator Chan here in Michigan. She is going to come forward with some police policy changes that I hope the media covers. You're going to see that. We're calling for change, and we're calling for enforcement. We're calling for equal protection under the law. No one is above the law. Treat the police just like the rest of us would be treated if they break the law. Number 2, Freedom of Information Act request. Who owns those documents, y'all? We do. Who owns Freedom of Information Act request, y'all? We do. Then why are you sitting back allowing them to hide it from us when they run over and kill our children? Why are you sitting back and allowing them to shoot our children back in the back of the head on video and not give it to us right away? Ladies and gentlemen, the law's got to change, and it needs to change today. Freedom of Information Act request. They need to give us the video. It's our video, public, within 14 days. 14 days of the event. They've got it for 2 weeks before. That's a long time. Give it to the people. Give it to the people.
That's right.
Give it to the people.
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 It's ours.
It's ours.
And then we make the call.
We gonna get it.
I want to thank you all for being here. I want everyone to know we have faith here in Michigan. We have faith in you. We're here for you. We're here with you. And together we insist every single person gets justice. Everybody. Thank you.
Give it up for Ben Johnson. Give it to the people. 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 Governor Whitmer, give it to the people. Attorney General Nelson, give it to the people. We want transparency, because when everybody can see what happened, then we can make the case for due process and equal justice under the law. Before we bring Mr. Hill Hopper up and the parents up to talk to you, then Dominique Sterling, Samuel's brother, said to me, Attorney Crump and Jamar Sterling talked to me about, why are they trying to say this is such a hard case? Because the truth of the matter, Dominique and Jamar, this ain't no hard case. If the roles would have been reversed and it would have been Samuel who ran over the police officer, man, not only would he be charged with first-degree murder, he would be held under the prison. Miss Becky, it ain't no hard case. If your son was ran over by anybody except the police, nobody would say it was a hard case. Mr. Michael, they only say that it's a hard case when it's a police officer with a gun and a badge. And then they start changing all the rules. I mean, it's like up is down, day is night. Oh, we can't give you his name because he hasn't been charged. Yeah, when the last time a black person been caught on video doing something and they said, oh, we can't release his name? So why's different when it's the police killing us? They talking about we can't release his name. Oh, we worry about his safety. Oh, they don't worry about our safety? It's equal justice under the law.
That's right.
And then Dominique asked me, and this was real deep, Ben Johnson. He said, Attorney Crump, is anybody gonna say anything about the officer who killed my brother? They let him retire with full benefits, full pension, all his credentials, so he can just go to another police department and get another job and go home and see his family every night while we have to go visit my brother in the cemetery?
No.
Is anybody gonna say anything about that? Because it happens far too often. They kill us, they get a paid vacation, and then they go get a high-paying job at the neighboring county. So we need policies, y'all. We need a Samuel Sterling law, a Raleigh docket law that say, no, when the police kill us and you charge them with a crime, you should terminate them. You fire people when they violate policy. You don't let them retire with benefits so they can get away with murder, literally. And so that's all we're saying, y'all. We're saying we want equal justice, nothing more, nothing less. We ain't asking for nothing special than what you would want for your children. And that's why we so proud. We so excited. We're elated to have this next young man with us who represents the best. I mean, the very best we have to offer for leadership for the future of the United States of America. He's a Harvard-educated lawyer. He's had great success as a television actor, but most importantly, he is a strong black father who is running for the United States Senate of the great state of Michigan. And with your help, he's going to be the next senator from the state of Michigan. And he did not think it robbery to come here and stand with these broken-hearted families of Samuel Sterling, Riley Doggett, and Patrick Loyola. Now that's the kind of senator I want representing me. Somebody who will come and stand for the people. So y'all give it up for Mr. Hill Harper, always standing for the people.
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel.
Why you hit me like that?
Come on.
I can't unhear those words. Why you hit me
Come on.
like that, Samuel said. And certainly it's with extreme, heavy hearts and righteous rage we stand here today, not in silence, but in a defiant effort. You know, we gather on these steps bearing clear witness of repeated systemic injustice. You're carrying out the action for change. Andrika and I were speaking last night, and she said to me, Hill, she said, I'm depressed. I said, ma'am, I can't understand your pain. My son, Pierce, is standing right there. I can't understand your pain. And she said that the system is trying to crush us. The system is trying to stop us. She said, when I was sitting there and I realized that this officer charged with second-degree murder was let in with no supervision, no handcuffs, and I knew the fix was already in, that there'd be no bail set, that he would walk away on his own recognizance. I've never seen that before.
Tell him here.
You know, when we talk about Samuel and this young man, and we talk about Riley, we know that lives were stolen, lives were extinguished. And again, we hear that echo of the words. Why you hit me like that?
Come on now. Come on, why?
Why you hit me like that? You know, it's a simple question, but it's very profound in its meaning. It's a cry from the depths of pain, a demand for answers, a call for justice for Samuel and Riley and Patrick. Samuel was a son, a brother, father. He was pinned up against a wall purposefully. This was not an accident.
That's right. The video is clear.
He's on the ground writhing in agony, and in a voice that's so soft says, why you hit me like that?
Why you hit me like that?
As a knee is pinned on his back, clearly having severe internal injuries to the point where he can't get up off the ground. We're bearing witness to severe and extreme injustice. And we gather. And that voice of that young man, a young man whose voice has been dismissed, disregarded, disrespected. And in those words, we hear the voice of a mother and her shattered heart. The voice of a community, and the voice of those words are a mandate for action. Why you hit me like that? It demands an answer. Not just from those who took his life, but from each of us. It demands that we confront the systemic racism that infects our society. It demands we stand up, speak up, fight back. And I stand before you today not just as a father, not just as someone who wants to fight for this amazing woman and her son, but I stand up as someone who refuses to accept a system that treats our young black men as expendable. I refuse to accept a society that turns a blind eye to their suffering. Why you hit me like that? In Samuel's words, we find our resolve, we find our fight, we find accountability, we demand transparency.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
We demand an account of those who abuse their power.
Yep.
And we will fight for community policing. We will fight for investigations. We will fight to see the video. We will fight to see the body cameras. We will fight for neighborhoods. We will fight for mental health support. We'll fight for pathways for probation and parole and those facing warrants. We will fight for legislation that requires immediate medical attention for anyone in police custody.
That's right.
Attention that demands urgency and compassion in every interaction with anyone from the community. We will fight to end the criminalization of black lives, to dismantle the prison industrial complex, to rebuild a system of values of every human being. Why you hit me like that must transform this question into a movement, into a policy, into change. We must demand that our young men are seen, that they're heard, and that they're valued, and that their lives are protected, dreams nurtured, and futures secured. Why you hit me like that is the refrain that we demand for Patrick, that we demand for Riley, and that we demand for Samuel. Why you hit me like that? Let's let no one ever be hit again.
Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley!
Justice for Patrick! Justice for Patrick! Thank you so much, Hill Harper. Give another round of applause for Hill Harper. Thank you for your leadership, brother. Now more than ever, before some of the activists speak to you, you're going to hear from the people who were most impacted by this tragedy. You're going to hear from Andrika, and you're going to hear from Michael, the mother and father of Samuel Sterling, who's going to speak to you from their heart about who their son was and why they won't give up fighting for justice. And what are they going to tell his children when they ask Papa and Mama, what did y'all do when the police killed my daddy? That's why we're having to stand here with them, because one day those children are going to grow up and they're going to ask those questions. And shame on us if we don't get to say we fought and got justice for your father. And they're going to be joined by the mother of Riley Doggett, Becky. They have joined a fraternity that no parent wants to be a member of, becoming a hashtag of an unjustifiable police killing, the very people who were supposed to protect and serve you. And they're also going to be joined by Peter Loyola, who is still fighting for justice 2 years later. You're going to get to see this fraternity all standing together saying, you lean on me and I lean on you. Because as long as we're together, we're stronger together. And that's why we're going to stand up together to get justice for Patrick, justice for Riley, and justice for Samuel. So y'all please give a big round of applause for Samuel's mother, Andrika, as she talks to you.
You got it. You know, I went to court the other day, Wednesday, and I asked my family and my community not to come because I just wanted me and Samuel's dad to go into that courtroom. When I came in, it was so many people, 616, whatever you want to call them, police people standing behind the man that killed my son, that pinned him to the wall. The video shows it plain and day. I stood there and I prayed. That officer that killed my son walked in as a normal person, as if he was in the courtroom already, with no handcuffs on, and he walked back out with no handcuffs on. He did not get treated as a criminal. He might got charged as a criminal, but he did not get treated as one. And that really just blew me. It disappointed me. It let me know that this system is corrupt.
It is corrupt. It is corrupt.
It also let me know that everybody that is a police officer, that is corrupt police officer, because I'm not going to say all of them, because some are good. The ones that are bad need to get up out of there. Because they are corrupting the ones that are good. And when my son laid on that ground and cried for help and asked that officer why he hit him, y'all don't know how much pain that hit me. Mothers don't have to go through this. I don't care what color you is. Shouldn't nobody run your child down. Nobody. I watched her son video and it brought me back to my son video. I couldn't tell her yesterday, I can't even feel her pain, even though my son just went through the same thing. Because our pain is different. And I don't even know how she feels. And the world don't really know how I feel. Y'all can say anything y'all want to, but until we get justice, until we change the laws, it's gonna always be the same. Y'all either against us or y'all with us. So I'm just gonna let y'all know, this pain that I got is never gonna be the same. I watched my son die. I had to bury my son. That officer get to go home to his kids, get to go home to his wife that sat there just as pretty as she wanted to in that courthouse with a smile on her face. She didn't grieve, she didn't cry to see if her husband's gonna go to prison. She laughed, she smiled in that courtroom. So that goes to tell me it was already fixed for us before we even came to the courtroom. Matter of fact, they thought we was coming here Wednesday. That's why they did the court. But we changed up and came here today, but went to court Wednesday to fight for my son. So I just want to let you know, all you officers that's corrupt, we coming. Let's make change. Because when you killed Samuel and Riley and Patrick's son, you had a team that was going to come together against y'all. So I'm letting y'all know we all coming. And it ain't just us three, it's a community. And we all fighting.
That's right.
We might not have the whole community right now, but we got a lot of them on Zoom, a lot of them on the news that's ready to fight behind all of us. So we coming.
Amen. Coming. The Grand Rapids 3, we coming.
Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Riley! Justice for Riley! Justice for Patrick! Justice for Patrick!
I got one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
News 17, I read y'all little comments. Let me tell you something. He wasn't on parole violation. He was on probation. So correct it.
Justice for Samuel!
Yeah, now we're going to hear from Miss Becky, the mother of Riley Doggett, who is going to bear her heart to talk about her son and the fight for justice. She has her son and daughter with her as well.
Got it. That's all right, Mama.
We with you, Beverly.
We got you.
The officer officers and the sheriff's department have painted a horrible picture of my son. The day of the incident, he wasn't being charged with anything. He was a passenger in a vehicle, and the officer chose to go after him instead of the driver. He hit him, got out, and then proceeded to drag him across the cement. He was not moving at all. He didn't flinch one bit. So what was the purpose of dragging and handcuffing him and then hitting him on the head when he's bleeding? He's bleeding out of his head and he's tapping him. That's inhumane. We wouldn't do that to anybody else, so why would you do it to my son? Riley was a troubled kid, but he was not a bad kid. He did not intentionally mean to hurt anybody in anything that he may or may not have done. Riley had a bright future ahead of him. He had siblings that loved him, nephews that adored him. It's just not fair. It's not fair that this man chose to run him over, and he says nothing. He shows no remorse. The Kent County Sheriff's Department, no remorse. Her backhanded, oh, my condolences, followed up with the condolences to the officer. What did the officer lose? He didn't lose anything. He was on a paid leave, a vacation, while we're sitting in the hospital praying and hoping that Riley wakes up or shows us a sign that things are going to get better. 31 days we sat there hoping and praying while this man is getting paid.
Justice for Riley!
Justice for Riley!
It's not okay. Things need to change. They cannot be using vehicles to run people over. We pay for other resources for them to use. That man had a canine in the car. He had a taser. He had a gun if it came to that. He could have disabled him in the leg. There are plenty of other resources he could have used besides his vehicle. That nobody stands a chance against a vehicle. Nobody's body stands a chance against a vehicle.
Follow policy and procedure.
I would like to ask Dana Nessel to please review the case and charge the officer. Charge the officer.
Justice for Riley!
Charge that officer.
Charge that officer!
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 One more thing before I pass it on. Everybody wanted to say my son's name, Riley Doggett, Riley Doggett. But don't forget, Josiah McMains is the one who ran over Riley Doggett.
That's right. Say it again.
Josiah McMains hit and killed Riley Doggett.
Riley Doggett. And just know, on all these videos, on each and every one of these videos, Samuel is running away, Riley is running away. Her 17-year-old teenage son was running away from the officer, posing no threat to him when he ran him over, killing him. Yeah, I don't even know how they can try to justify a police car running over a citizen who's running away from them. It's not a hard case, Dominique. It's not a hard case, Jamar. If this was you running over another citizen, it would be open and shut. Open and shut. The only time it gets to be a difficult case is when the police run over one of our children. Then they say, oh, well, we don't know. It's going to be a hard case. We got to figure out if we can get all the evidence. The evidence is on the video. You don't have to say no more. Just tell the jury to watch the video. That's all we have to do. Now we're going to hear from Mr. Michael Sterling, the father of Samuel Sterling, to speak from his heart about his son. Justice for Samuel.
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 Justice for Samuel. I'm the father of Samuel. it was just heartbreaking, what I found out, because I haven't seen the video yet, and I don't think I can see it. I mean, the part that I did see, it was just heartbreaking, and I just don't understand it, how police can run someone over and think it's okay.
You're not by yourself, brother. You're not by yourself. You got it.
We standing with you, Michael.
We all stand with you.
It just makes me so angry, because
It's all right. Makes us angry too.
when I was in that courtroom
Come on. Hey.
and saw that man walk out with no handcuffs, and walk in with no handcuffs, and get a bond, a PR bond, it just made me angry. It took everything in my power not to run over there and really do something to that.
Come on.
That's all right.
Come on. We get it. You're human.
We with you, Michael. We gonna fight for the care.
They really don't want us here. They don't love us at all. You know? And something needs to be done about
But
this.
we're here.
Something really needs to be done about this, because I'm tired of marching. I'm tired of protesting. I'm just ready to take action. And that's all I have to say.
Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel! Justice for Samuel!
We're tired of losing our men.
We're now going to hear from Patrick Loyola's father before we hear from Jamar Sterling, who has been on the front line from day one for his family. He's become like a co-counsel for Attorney Ben Johnson and I, reciting laws and statutes, because when it happens to your family, then you start saying that, no, I want to know everything, why they ain't charging the police, why they won't show the video, why they taking so long, why he get released with his own recognizance. You want to know everything to stop the fix. So y'all give it up for Patrick Loyola's father, Peter Loyola. We have not forgotten about Patrick. Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick!
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick!
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick!
I'm Patrick Lioya dad. Since Patrick died is 2 years now ago.
It's just like today.
2 years ago. Nothing is gone. They still delay. 2 years ago now, nothing is gone. I say I need the world to know, like, it's no justice here in America.
Yes.
There's no justice here in America.
No.
The officer still sleep to his home, to his house, with his kids, but Patrick is underground for 2 years.
Come on now.
So I need justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you for standing strong for your family, from here all the way to Africa. And now we're going to hear from a young activist who represents the best of us. Society tried to condemn him, said he had no redeemable qualities. Man, this brother is a brilliant, articulate brother, and they try to keep our young black men getting caught up in the system over and over again, but they can't keep us down. I give you prima facie evidence how they can't keep us down. They tried to keep Jamar Sterling down, but they couldn't keep him down. Jamar Sterling, come and speak truth and power for your family.
Justice for Samuel!
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 First, I just want to give honor to my Lord and personal Savior, who was the head of my life and was who's the reason why I'm redeemed to this day? Who's the reason why there will be justice for my cousin Samuel Sterling? Who's the reason why he's ruler of all rulers over authority and all? Who's the reason why it will be a guilty verdict for the officer Brian Keeley who murdered my cousin? We're gonna say the officer's name. We keep swaying around the officer's name. His name is Brian Keeley. Brian Keeley is the one who murdered my cousin Samuel Sterling. Brian Keeley. 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 He's the one who murdered Samuel Sterling with the police vehicle. So I'm a man of faith. As Attorney Ben Crump, the world-known civil rights activist, we gotta understand history. This is Attorney Ben Crump. So those of you who don't know, like this is the big deal. This is a big deal here in our country, the United States of America, where we have now Ben Crump on the front line, once again, putting on for those who have died and been murdered here by police officers across America. Not just here in our city of Grand Rapids. So Attorney Ben Crump, we really appreciate you. But I want to warn you, Grand Rapids don't care about you. Grand Rapids don't care about you being a civil rights activist. Grand Rapids got 7 billionaires here in our city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. They got millionaires. They got supporters who support these law officers. I need you to bring it.
Yeah.
We need you to bring it. We need you to bring it.
Let's bring it, co-counsel.
Yes, they support this. It's gonna be brought.
I just want to take y'all to a word of scripture real quick in Ephesians 6:12. It reads, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood." We don't wrestle against each other. In these times, we got to stick with each other. Black, white, Hispanic, Latino. We can't wrestle against flesh and blood. We got to wrestle against the rulers, against the authorities. The rulers of Brian Keeley. The rulers of that judge who just gave him a PR bond for murdering my cousin. A PR, personal reconnaissance. That's unethical. We not having that.
No, we haven't.
Miss Edrika, my cousin mother, my aunt, she asked the family not to be there. She needed to see. But before then, when she ain't telling y'all, she prayed about something. Prayer changes things, so God allowed her to see what she needed to see. And since she saw what she saw, it brought a different grit to her. Don't let them tears fool you. She's a fighter. Sterling families, we fighters. Riley family, we fighters. Keep in mind, white boy Riley is not the typical white boy. Keep in mind, I did the research on Mr. Riley. His father was a black man. So the story changes. It was a nickname because of the color of his skin tone. That's why they called him White Boy Riley. So let's not get this understood. Riley still got us running through his veins. So we asked everybody who's falling back, oh, it's just a white boy. That's what happens. A good thing can happen. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It ain't good. The system is corrupt. The system is messed up, whether it's white or black. We need those officers out of there.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Justice for Riley!
Justice for Riley!
Justice for Riley!
Justice for Riley!
Show the video!
Show the video!
To the juries. To the juries. Charge him.
That's right, charge him.
Mr. Becker said because Riley had what may appear to be a gun, if I'm mistaken, that's what I read. He had a cell phone.
That was a cell phone.
Broad daylight, he had a cell phone. It's with his back to him. Riley was not turning towards him. Riley was running for his life. Riley was running for his life just like my cousin Samuel was running for their lives. These officers intentionally hit Samuel, intentionally hit Riley. There was no accident.
No accident.
There's no remorse. There's no sorry. They're sorry for the pain that they may have caused their families.
There you go. There you go.
We got to wrestle against the powers over the present dark times right now. These dark times, these officers getting away with murder. With murder. This man ain't charged not one time with murder. Chases is supposed to be pulled off at certain amount of times, right? That officer, Brian Keeley, who they gave time to retire before he could be fired, who gave him a PR bond. So we see how's it going, who want to prolong it, like Patrick Layoya's situation for 2 years. We ain't having that. We're going to apply pressure month after month after month after month. We protested. We not going to get tired. We fighters.
Night after night.
But in order to do that, we must put on the whole armor of God, y'all. Like real talk. This is a spiritual thing going on. That's truth. That's righteousness. That's peace. That's faith. That's salvation. That's the spirit that flows within us. And that's prayer. It don't matter what order, we must put that in us.
That's right.
We call on all pastors here across the United States of America to stand in unity. Stand in one unit and ask that you pray for a switch in this atmosphere, a change in this atmosphere. Step up, come to our city of Grand Rapids, meet our family, stand behind Commissioner Womack, stand behind Attorney Ben Crump, stand behind our family. This is a nation thing. This ain't no Grand Rapids thing, and this ain't no normal case. It should be normalized. This is not a normal case. It's not a normal thing for officers to kill us. It's not normal.
It's not normal.
But we made it normal. We became numb to everything. It is not normal for us to be killed, ran down, whether it's we shot or ran. It's not normal. We're supposed to be protected. Y'all supposed to serve us, not kill us. Justice for Samuel!
Justice for Samuel!
Justice for Samuel!
Justice for Samuel!
Now I'm retired. 1 week later, now I'm retired.
We can unretire him.
Remember, I've been through the system.
In jail.
I've been through the system. God put me out here on a journey. Back in 2003, I helped take a life, so I'm out here to help save as many as possible.
Come on now, brother. Come on now.
I expressed this to my cousin Samuel. We had a chance to have a few one-on-ones, a few of our vibe-out sessions. A moment before I was cut short to really build a relationship with my cousin. And one of those conversations was cuz, how you trust the police? How you trying to build a relationship between the police and the community, man? That ain't gonna happen. I'm scared of the police. I said, cuz it can happen. They just gotta listen to us. I think God put me in that position to where if they just start with the youth and they start with the elders and then just come out of that traumatized bondage that they in based on the stories that they may have heard, if you come out of that, I swear, man, it can happen. They just traumatized by us. They don't know us because there ain't no law enforcement within our 49507 area who grew up and understands us. It can be changed. It can be changed. We're not mad at all the officers. We're just mad at law enforcement officers who corrupt, who in the way, but God gonna weed them out. But we angry. We some fighters, don't get it twisted, but we some praying warriors. We are women and children of God standing here behind us. Y'all messing with God's children. You can't manipulate the Lord. You can't manipulate what's really going on. And I stand on that right here in our state capital here in Michigan.
Praying and fasting.
We speak on that. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass this over. I asked the Nation of Islam to join me real fast. So I'm gonna ask Minister Sultan of the Nation of Islam just to grace us with his presence. The Nation of Islam stands in peace. Remember back in the day when we was going through these things, back in the day in these 60s when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, everybody marched in unity. Everybody protested in unity. These brothers protesting in unity. They're ready to march in unity with us. They're ready to stand in unity. We must do that. We must put religion away. Let's stand in humanity. Let's stand together. All religions. All religions. Them times still here, y'all. Them 50, them 40, they just in blue. Some of them just in blue. They just camouflaged in behind them badges. But together in unity, whether you Muslim, whether you Christian, whether you Buddha, when we still all dealing with the same issue.
Come on now.
So with that being said, justice for Samuel!
Justice for Samuel!
Thank you, Brother Jamar. In the name of God the Beneficent, the Merciful, we come greet everyone in peace. And thank Brother Jamar, thank Commissioner Womack, thank Attorney Crump, the family of Riley, Patrick, and Samuel for standing up in a time where standing up for what's right can be a hard thing to do. We are grateful for the Attorney General being strong enough to do what's right to assess charges. But I believe that we are here today because we are determined not to be lulled to sleep.
That's right.
Thinking that charges is justice.
Come on now.
It is a step in the right direction, but no journey is completed with just one step.
That's right.
So we are happy for a step, but we are determined to keep on stepping until justice is served.
That's right.
My teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, says that there really can be no peace without justice, and there can be no justice without truth. And there cannot be truth unless someone rises up to tell the truth. So I'm grateful for those that have been strong enough to stand up and tell the truth, and we all must today be strong enough to stand up and tell the truth so that justice can be served. We are in a time where these things are happening far too often. Far too often where we are seeing those of black youth and really all of the human family being lost at the hands of law enforcement. But there's a scripture here in the book of Isaiah that says that judgment is turned away and justice stands afar off, and equity cannot enter because truth has fallen in the street. We will not be able to make the court system do right, but we have a responsibility, all of us who have a heart for what is right, to stand up and say what needs to be said and bring the truth to light so that justice might have a chance. We have to keep the light of truth shining on this case for Samuel Sterling. We have to keep the light shine on the case for Patrick Leola that they want to be dismissed. We have to keep the light of truth shine on the case for Riley. For when we get quiet, we can see, as with the case with Patrick Leola, there's an effort to make everybody forget. But we're here to say that we have not forgotten. We have not forgotten Patrick. We will not forget Riley, and we certainly are not going to forget Samuel Sterling. We're here to make it known. We have to keep the truth out front and not be afraid, which is why I'm so proud of my brother Jamar for not being afraid to continue to stand up. We should feel the pain of these mothers and fathers that have lost their children and have enough in us to stand up and do what's right regardless of the cost. I saw the video on the way out here of what happened to young Riley. Horrific video. Horrific. And no one who looks at that should have a hard time being able to see that something grievously wrong has taken place. But our program from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that we want justice. We want equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of creed or class or color. Justice is not supposed to see what your creed is and make a change. Justice is not supposed to see your class or how much money you make and change. Justice is not supposed to see your color and make a change. But we see in America the reality that it tends to change based off of these factors. But the time has come where there is an intensifying universal cry for justice. And the call for justice is not just coming from the people, but the demand for justice comes from God himself. So I'm glad that my brother lifted up the scripture and started off saying that he's a man of faith, because we cannot take God out of this equation. No matter whether the courts do right or not, God is interested in justice being given to those who are oppressed. And what we must realize is that the call for justice, whether it might not be wanted by those who are supposed to uphold it, that God desires for justice to be established. And this plea is just that they might do justice while the power is in their hands to do it. So Thomas Jefferson said it like this. He said, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and his justice cannot sleep forever. He said, I tremble. He knew that God's justice cannot sleep forever, and we must know that his justice cannot sleep forever. So whether or not the courts disappoint, we must remain united and keep putting the truth out front. We must remain standing and know that God will not disappoint. And whether or not the judge does right, there is a righteous judge, God Almighty, that will see to it that justice takes place for all of those that we stand for today. Thank you, family.
Yeah, they asked to speak. They are siblings of their 17-year-old brother Riley. We have Taylor and Nathan, who out of the mouths of babes come true.
So it was 31 days we sat in that hospital, begging and praying and hoping that a miracle would happen to our brother. We see miracles every day. We see it happen on social media every day. Riley would twitch a toe, move a finger, twitch his eyes, his pupil would move, and we're just like, Riley, come on. Like, we're here, we're waiting for you. Come on. If they would have released that video a little bit sooner, I would have knew right then and there my brother was gone. Seeing that video, seeing my brother limp, seeing my brother not move even the slightest bit, I would have known right then and there he was gone. In the hospital, we were holding on to a body and we didn't know. It's not fair that we sat in that hospital 31 days, 31 days too long, waiting for answers. We had zero, none. They didn't even want to tell us exactly what happened to him until we seen it on the news. And then they confirmed that he was ran over. And then when we go talk to Chris Becker, he wants to say no. He was slung shot to the floor. You can see clear as day. You slow that video down, that car humped twice. What did it run over? Because that car hit my brother in the back of his ribs. What else was there to run over? Brain so damaged that it could not allow him to breathe correctly. 17 before or after, I'm sure we all have done at least one thing that we're like, dang, we shouldn't have done that. We probably could have gotten in trouble for that. I know I have. I know plenty of us have. At 17, my brother did not deserve his life to be taken. He was waiting and looking forward to coming to Arizona with us, to be with his nephews, to be back and forth with his friends, to graduate high school, to go to prom. So much. And all of that was taken from him because he decided to get in a car with a friend. Everybody wants to pass this judgment, but none of us know what he knew because his brain was gone by the time we got to the hospital with him. Nobody could ask him anything. Nobody knew what his plans were. Our mom's friend went to the house. Guess what? Riley had a brand new bowl of macaroni in his room. I can almost guarantee he didn't plan to leave. He just made that. So you're telling me my brother knew? I don't know. And I'm not gonna say he didn't, and I'm not gonna say he did. But at 17, we all haven't made the best decisions. At 17, none of us asked any type of questions. Like, 17, there's so much more life to live. I'm 24. And honestly, I wish I could switch spots with him just so he could get to 24. He deserved to get there. He deserved to live life to there. He deserved to have his own kids. He deserved to go to prom. He deserved to take care of our mom like he wanted to. And now he just has to look up we have to look up and just hope and pray that he's right here with us every single day. Justice for Riley.
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 Y'all give her a big round of applause. That was very courageous. Taylor, you want to say something? Okay. Thank you again, Taylor. Commissioner Womack, the man who got us all here today. Give it up for Commissioner Womack.
I want to bring Sammy. I want to bring the sister and brother up right quick.
April 17th, I got a phone call around 9-something in the morning that said my brother was hit by the police. I got conflicting stories that he was hit, shot. I ain't know. I just did what I was supposed to do. Put my stuff on and went to go check on my little brother. Unfortunately, my brother passed away. He was murdered. And since that day, the only question I can ask myself is why? Why did this officer do what he did? Why did the police take so long to do what they were supposed to do? Just why? This is my first time ever speaking about this. Because I had to sit back and I had to do my own investigation and see what happened. And I came up with my own conclusion on what happened. And I feel like it's key points that's being missed in this case that probably don't nobody know about. So I'm gonna start here. Let's speak on the fact that my brother was in a rental car. He came in with his Let's talk about how before he went in with his girlfriend, everything was okay with his car. He had a rental car and he owned a car. Mysteriously, the next morning, it's a nail in both of his cars, the one he's not using and the one he's using. Then let's go with, when y'all first came out with y'all news article, y'all said y'all randomly spotted my brother. Y'all had a whole task force.
Come on now.
That's not random.
That's not random.
I've been in trouble for years. So I know the criminal justice system on both sides, because as a criminal, it's on me to know the law. So if I do get in trouble, I know how to fight it. So I don't have to be a lawyer, a judge, a prosecutor, or nothing to know law. But what I know is, y'all ain't come at my brother for what y'all claim. Because it don't make no sense why y'all came at him the way y'all came at him. So it's something deeper that's really going on. And I think I know. And I'm going to just share that with my family. I'm going to just keep that between us, because what is really justice? A conviction, some money. I still won't have my brother. I don't care if y'all give us $1 billion. My brother still won't be here. His kids would never see him. He won't be able to do music. He was an entertainer.
So he was an entertainer. He was a loving brother, a loving father, a loving cousin, a loving grandchild. My brother didn't harm anyone. He ran for his life.
because, like I said, he entertained music. He loved music. He was happy free. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was happy. You know, he didn't want no one to take his freedom away from him.
Justice for Samuel!
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 Justice for Riley!
Justice for Riley!
We would never see my brother ever again. My mom or my dad would never see their child ever again. His children would never see their father ever again. We need everybody to come out and support. We need everybody to say his name, no matter what color you are. We need numbers. We need his name recognized. Because my brother is not here to speak for himself. So we're up here to speak for him. We're up here to support him. Say his name. No peace.
No peace!
No peace. No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
Say his name.
Samuel Sterling!
Say his name.
Samuel Sterling!
Say their name.
Samuel Sterling!
Patrick, where are you? Come on now, we know exactly what's going on.
Give it up, y'all. Samuel Sterling.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up for his little sister.
Y'all give Nakia another round of applause. Speaking up for our brother.
Go, Mike Kia!
Give Mike Kia a round of applause. That's my name, Mike Kia Sterling, okay?
One of the strongest black voices in our community. You just heard from her, Samuel Sterling's sister. And I want the sisters, the brothers, and also the mother of Samuel's children to come up front as we get ready to do our march. But I want to make sure we have, are the mothers up front? We have the parents. We want the Doggett's up front. We got the Doggett family up front, the Sterling. This is one of the mothers, this is Bree. So we want to keep them in your prayers also. This young lady was with Samuel Sterling when he died. She has a story. Her rights were also violated that day as she tried to see what was going on and get information as she was at that gas station in that car. So keep everybody in prayers, especially the parents, the brothers, the siblings, the mother, the children, the friends. Mr. Sterling said, this cannot be normal, but it's becoming normal. And that's why we're here today, to make sure that this is not the norm.
That's right, not the norm.
We challenged the city of Detroit, where in 1967, during the riots, many brothers and sisters were cut down like lawn grass by law enforcement. We challenged the city of Detroit not only to challenge Grand Rapids in basketball, football. We want you to challenge us and meet us with the same energy for social justice. I'm so proud of the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan youth and citizens that did stand up for justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick!
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley!
Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel!
When Ben Crump comes to Michigan, we challenge Ben Harbor to stand up and meet Grand Rapids energy when it comes to social justice. Because this is not just a Grand Rapids problem. We challenge Flint to not only challenge us in basketball, football. Grand Rapids has picked up the football and running to the end zone for social justice.
That's right.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley!
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick!
Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel.
And as I end, this is what I came to tell you today. We just mentioned the riots in 1967 where our brothers and sisters were slain. Grand Rapids is not the only place where people have been killed and murdered by law enforcement. The governor at that time during the riots didn't come out and say the 3 words that our governor has came out and said. The boldest, brightest, greatest governor in the history of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, came out and said those 3 words. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And we all know that the 3 words are not enough. So I want everybody to repeat after me. Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
I called in Ben Crump and Vin Johnson because a lot of our leaders in Grand Rapids are bandwagon leaders. Once the governor and Senator Chang get it going, they will jump on. But they didn't want to risk their seats. They didn't want to risk the money that come to their campaigns to stand up with us when we said, justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Riley.
Justice for Patrick.
Justice for Patrick.
Our governor said it before our own local leaders. It is unacceptable. Dana Nelson has come in and brought charges. But I talked to Senator Chang this morning. We set up a meeting that's going to be coming up with the lawyers, the senator, and of course, the Sterling family, looking for legislation and change. So we are asking our local leaders to support her. We're asking this whole legislation, that's why we're here today. Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
That, like Vin Johnson said, we will get those public documents that belong to you. Like this mother said, and Taylor said, the sister of Riley, if they could have saw the video, they wouldn't have been in the hospital 30 days. We want transparency. We want those public records immediately. As Ben Crump said, if somebody else was involved in a crime, you don't care about their safety. You're putting their names out there. We want all of this on paper. Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
Put it on paper.
And if our cowardly legislation, my last word, if our cowardly legislation don't change the law in favor of the people that voted and put them in this house, we want an executive order from Governor Whitmer. Thank you.
Give it up for Commissioner Womack. Give it up for Commissioner Womack. Give it up for Commissioner Womack.
As we get ready to do this march around the building, and we have all the family here, I'm also going to have Commissioner Woods also bring the uncle, Jerome Sterling, the uncle of Samuel Sterling. Let's give it up to him for making it here today. And we ready to march.
Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel.
Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel. Justice for Samuel.